Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over a bunch of new products from the Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 collection. She re-released the beautiful packaging that, hold on, just let me show it to you. I'm kind of mad about it. I'm not really mad about it, but I worked so hard to get this palette and now it is back. So if you missed out on the limited edition Divine Rose 2 palette, I haven't even touched mine. I am panning, attempting to pan my other one that's in the original packaging, but this is now available along with new products for this launch. This seems to be the pillow talk of Pat McGrath, and I can't even blame her. I just want blushes though. I really want blushes, but I'm not complaining. There are a lot of beautiful things in this collection, so let's just go ahead and jump in, get into the information and swatches, and then I will show you guys how I created this look. I picked up the Divine Rose Luxe Quad in Eternal Eden. This retails for $58. You're getting two mattes in here that I believe are actually a different formula, at least from what I've read and kind of been gathering around as I was waiting for my camera to let me record again. And then a beautiful metallic shade, and then one here that's a little bit between a shimmer, I guess satin. I would say it's a satin. It's gorgeous. I love these tones. They're just straight up my alley. I love pinks. I love roses. So there's that. Let me go ahead and show you guys the swatches and read the description. The product features two major finishes: luxurious cream formulation, highly blendable, endless eye looks, and the shades are Pink Mystique, a light pink with a shimmering gold flash, Temptation, muted matte magenta, Forbidden Fruit, rich pink bronze metallic, and Earthly Delight, mid-tone cool brown matte. The luxurious cream formulation is what I believe are describing these matte formulas right here, because they are definitely different than what I'm used to in the other Pat McGrath palettes. Then we have the Ultra Glow Highlighter in Divine Rose. It reads Pat McGrath Labs on the outside, Divine Rose on the back, and on the inside you have a mirror and then this amazing formula. And can you see the shift? Oh, it's beautiful. This retails for $48. It's a gel powder hybrid formulation, and it has iridescent and pearlescent pigments to give a wet effect. There's two new LIQUILUST Legendary Wear matte lipsticks in the shades Divine Rose, described as soft plum rose, and Divine Nude, a lush nude beige. These retail for $30 a piece. I also kind of decided that I had to have the notebook and the poster because it's so pretty. I bought two of them. I'm not going to open up the poster. I will insert a picture so you guys can see what the poster looks like. But the set is $18. Again, I picked up two, and this is the notebook. I mean, it's just so pretty. It has blank pages on the inside, and then this is what the back looks like. Yeah, I just really wanted those. Now, if you wanted to, you could get everything that I just mentioned in just one whole package, other than the notebook and the poster, and you can get that for $350, and that is including the limited edition Divine Rose 2 palette, and that is on the Pat McGrath website. The one thing I didn't show you, though, I did not pick up, is the PERMAGEL liner for your eyes. It does come with that, though. I forgot to show you guys these three products that I got. I don't know, I thought I had it, but apparently the clip is missing. Anywho, I grabbed Done Undone lip liner, as well as Suburbia lip liner, and then the Divine Rose Matte Trance lipstick. I didn't have these in my collection. I've been waiting on Done Undone. Oh, so I finally got those, but I just want to go ahead and quickly show those swatches to you. So anywho, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial, and then I'm also going to show you guys different comparisons for the palette and the highlight. I'm going to start off with the shade Temptation on a Rephr number 1. I'm going to start off by tapping that on the outer corner of the lid, basically the whole outer half. I noticed I started this eye first. I wasn't sure exactly which direction I wanted to go with it. I'm going to apply it to the inner corner as well. But I noticed that these aren't fully matte. Like, they have just a tiny bit of, it's right in between a satin and a matte. More matte than a satin, but it makes it to where it's a little easier to blend. Doesn't have a lot of a sheen, but just like a tiny bit of it. And I don't know that you would really see that unless you are really close to the mirror, because I'm looking at it right now when I'm a little further away from the mirror, I don't see it. But when I was really close, I could see it. So I just wanted to mention that. And it's nice, like I said, because it makes it to where you can actually blend these type of shades a little easier. And I think I'm going to go for a halo eye, as you can see on this side. So I'm bringing the shades, as there's less product on my brush, a little further up into the crease, into the transition area. If you prefer to keep your shadows lower, that's totally fine. I have, when my eyes are straight on, I have more space up here than I do on my lids. Even though I have space on my lids, when I'm looking straight forward, I like to be able to see these shades. So that's why I bring them up a little higher. Adding a bit more pigment to the inner corner and outer. Just kind of building as I go. Going up just a little further in this area. I never know what to call this. I'm using a Rephr number 12, just to make sure I get a little bit more pigment right on that inner corner. I'm going to stamp the excess over here, but really want to make sure that I have the pigmentation, because with a fluffier brush it can be a little harder. Just want to make sure it's really nice and opaque. Just stamping that same shade just right on the inner portion of the lid. Rephr number 3, same shade. I'm placing this right along the lower lash line. I am going to smoke it out. Rephr is having a restock and a new promo. I have a little sticker here to remind me to talk about it. Because I forgot to in one of my last videos when they had a restock and I felt bad. So I'm going to tell you guys about it. But this brush I don't think is a part of it. I know. This is one of my favorites. But a lot of the eye brushes are coming back into stock, which is really nice. Now I'm going to grab Earthly Delight on a Rephr number 14. I'm going to start adding some depth with this shade. So I'm placing it on the outer portion of the lid, outer corner. I'm going to take the excess and bring it on the inner corner before blending upward. And I am leaving that center portion of the eye blank. I think that I'm going to take the lightest shade and go in the center, but I don't know if I want to take the darker metallic shade and go all over. I can't decide. Blending this on the outer crease. I'm taking excess on the inner portion. I'm going to build that up on the inner corner. Add a little bit more on the outer. Rephr number 5, and just clean up that little bit of fallout. Now with the Rephr 16, no product on there. I'm going right around the edges of everything to make sure that I can get a little bit more of a soft blend around the edges. On our Rephr number 13, I'm going to go in with the shade Forbidden Fruit. I'm again going to go on the inner portion of the eye, the inner corner. Basically doing the same thing, but I'm not going to bring it up as high as I did the last shade, and I'm using this dry. When I pick up the shade on a fluffy brush like this, granted it is a slightly denser and shorter brush, I swirl the brush in the product. With the powdery, more matte, satiny feeling ones, I just dip my brush in. But with this brush and this formula, I swirled, so I made sure to get the product really loaded up on my brush. And I don't like to tap off. Just going back and forth, making sure I have a nice blend. Rephr 21, going in with Pink Mystique. I'm going to apply this to the center of the lid. And then slowly, lightly work it right up to the brow arch. You can use this wet if you'd like. I don't want to. And then I am going to go add on inner rim liner and mascara. I finished off the eyes with Milk Boss liner, mascara, and I did add just a little bit of Love Bug from my Tiny Marvels palette, just right up against the lash line on the outer half of the eye, just to add a little bit more depth at the lash line, but that is it. And then I went ahead and put on one of the liquid lipsticks because I wanted to see how it dried down and actually wear it for a little bit before putting on the other one. And the shade that I have on is Divine Nude. I have no liner or anything on with it. It's just the liquid lipstick. All right, let's test out the highlight in Divine Rose. I love the packaging. It's just like the packaging of the limited edition palette. And let me open it up. Oh, I love this type of gelée type of formula. I don't know if you guys can see that reflect, that shift. It's really pretty. So I'm going in with my Linda Hallberg 306. This is one of my favorite brushes to use with this type of formula. I'm going to grab it and then see, this is why I love this type of formula. Oh, it's so pretty. Concentrating it on my cheekbones. And I have, there's like a little hair embedded in my foundation. I don't know how it got there. I'm assuming probably whenever I was putting on my foundation with my sponge. I almost called it a beauty blender. So if you see that, I tried to get it out, but I was like, meh. I set that booger in place. I can definitely see the reflect, or I mean the shift from like pink to gold. It's really pretty. And put it on the other side. I didn't put it on my nose. I used just my normal highlight, the YSL 3D All Over Glow for my nose and my chin, just because I was worried this was going to be a little too dark for those areas, and I think it is just a little too dark for that spot on my face, but on my cheekbones I think it looks nice. It does accentuate a little bit of texture. I have more texture on this side than I do on this side, but it looks wet. It doesn't look dry. It looks gorgeous. Oh, that's really pretty. Now I'm going to go off of camera and I'm going to put on my blush and I'll do a little bit of buffing and then yeah, I'll be right back. I wanted to pull a little bit more of the more warm golden tones of the highlight out, so I went in with a very warm coral blush. This is Platonic Blonde from By Terry, and I just popped that on with my number 4 from Rephr, and then I went in with my lavender powder from Fenty just to go down the center of my face. And then I finished off with the Milk setting spray. Now I did go ahead and change the lip color so that I could test them both out, and this one is Divine Rose. I believe that she has released liquid lipsticks before, or like maybe 1 or 2 in a collection or something a while back, but I've never tried her formula previous to this, so I can't compare to anything that she's done before. But I just want to swatch these on my hand. I know you've seen them both on my lips, but I just want to quickly show you. And this one is Divine Rose. And then Divine Nude. They're both beautiful, beautiful colors. And they're not thick and heavy on the lips. I'm not a big lipstick lover. I'm definitely a lipstick lover. I'm not a big liquid lipstick lover, but these are not bad. They do dry down. Let me see. So nothing's really coming out. I got a tiny little bit there, but I just put this on. So they do dry down to be, I would say, transfer proof. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. but I can tell that this is something that I would want to wear for a couple hours and then I would want it off, but I'm just not a huge liquid lipstick lover. But in terms of liquid lipsticks that I have tried, I would say it's not as comfortable and as hydrating as something like the Lunar Beauty ones, but they're not as dry as Anastasia Beverly Hills. So somewhere in between. Not bad, not bad. I'm not mad at it. I would wear this, I would pick it up, and I love both of the colors, but it's not something that I would want to wear all day because I don't like that dry feeling, but it's not terrible. I had the other one on for roughly 45 minutes. This one I've only had on for like 15. Yeah, I don't think I would want to wear it all day long. The highlight though, this is so pretty. I like that it's not too bright because it is pretty intense. But because it's more of a slightly darker, but it still works for my skin tone, it melts in and it just creates a luminosity that doesn't look like it's over the top. I could definitely build this up. I could use it wet and get it to be over the top and just like in your face. But I like how it goes into the skin. This is a formula that I much prefer to her other, like the last one that she brought out, but I will compare. Now, the packaging I thought was going to be identical to this, but it's not. This one is a little bit more of like it's a little bit more pink, and it's like a shiny but has a matte coating almost. I don't know if that makes sense. This one's definitely more mirrored and it's more of a peachy pink. So I just wanted to show you those side by side. But now let's compare the highlight. This formula kind of reminds me of some of the special shades, not the ones with the glitter all in them, but like the more smooth special shade. There's one in particular that I am thinking of, and it's from the Divine Rose palette. And this shade right here. I want to see how this compares to the highlight. And I'm putting it on top of my tattoo because it gives it a background. It really helps to pull the color and really emphasize any shifting. So you can see, like, I thought they were going to be a little bit more similar than they are. When I go like this, they look a little bit more similar. This one definitely has a little more pink. This one has more gold in it. But oh my gosh, they're beautiful. You can see when I go like this, they're much more similar. So if you're not putting it on top of a tattoo, then you will get more of that effect. This on me though would be too dark for a highlight. So this works, but this would not. The Champagne Gold Skin Fetish Sublime Skin Highlight. This one, the packaging is definitely superior to the new one. This is like a paperweight. It is so heavy and luxe. But this one I actually cannot use, and I don't think that they're going to be similar, and they're definitely different textures, but I'm going to show you anyway. This one has like a lavendery, taupey, grayish undertone, and on me it just was not flattering. So I don't know if you can see. This one, it even looks not as wet as these other two. It did remind me of the new Natasha Denona Love Cheek Duo. I love this one. It's so pretty. And this one is a pink and gold shift. So I wanted to see what this looked like up against it. Here's the Natasha. And this is Pat McGrath. This one's more pink. So you can see whenever I go again like this one's more pink and this one has a little bit more gold. Not the same, but the textures are very similar. And then straight on there, I could see more of the gold in this one. I would say this one is a little bit more cooler toned. Oh, they're so pretty. Dior Backstage Rose Gold Quad. This shade right here. Let's see. Looking dead on at them. So this one isn't nearly as intense as the Pat McGrath one. It's more similar, I think, to the Natasha Denona. But still, it has its similarities to it, but still not the same. I have Lit from Milk Makeup. This is a formula that I really think is underrated. It is so good. It's really smooth and very intense. So if you like that look, you definitely should check these out. Here's Lit. So not the same, but I just wanted to see. So pretty. So this one is definitely something that's a little bit more special in my collection. I do love it. I think it is beautiful, and it's going to work on, I would say, my skin tone and up. If you're lighter than me, I would probably only a shade lighter than me, but if you still want to grab it, it would look beautiful, beautiful on the eyes. I do wish that she had done something a little bit more with the packaging. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen blushes. The blushes, I'm just waiting for them. I think that she would create such beautiful blushes. I hope they are coming soon. Like, I keep waiting, and every time I see a sneak peek of a new product, I'm like, blushes? They're not coming. I'm like, Pat, give me the blush. I want the blush. But anywho, loving the highlight. So now let's go and talk about the eyes. The Eternal Eden Quad. I think that this is beautiful. There's definitely other shades in the collection that are going to be pretty darn similar to this. I don't think that there's anything necessarily fantastically new in here other than this formula. This formula is really, really nice. It's different than her regular matte formula. It's much easier to work with, and don't get me wrong, I love her matte formula. I think it's incredible. I love the pigmentation, but if you have had issues in the past where you've struggled with her mattes, this formula it's going to be for you. I think it is incredible. It feels so nice. Like, touching them, they feel just like a little bit silkier than her original mattes. And I had no idea that this was a new formula until I started reading after I'd done the eyes. So that tells you that I noticed the difference straight out the gate. I know Pat's formula so well, at least I like to think that I do, that I noticed that these were slightly different, but I didn't actually know they were new. Because I have this habit of getting excited and just putting stuff on my face before reading about it. That can be good sometimes, but other times it's like bad YouTuber. This time I think it was nice because I noticed the difference without actually knowing that it was a different formula. So I wouldn't say that you need this, but I do think it is beautiful. It blends beautifully. It's very easy to use, and I love the shades in here. I'm going to just go ahead and insert some different palettes so you guys can see the comparisons of the Divine Rose 2, the Divine Rose, and then the Rose Decadence palette, things like that, so that you guys can just tell on your own whether or not you think that you need to pick this up or want to pick this up. I do think it is a beautiful, beautiful palette, beautiful textures, and a great addition to my collection. Overall, I'm really happy with this collection. I think it's a beautiful extension. I just want to see those blushes. Give them to me, Pat. I'm ready for them. But I mean, everything is gorgeous, and I'm really happy that I was able to grab some things that I hadn't been able to get my hands on before, like the lip pencil. I was happy to see that was on the website. I was just like, yes, I want that. And then I just want to update you guys on this lip because it's pretty comfortable. It's pretty comfortable. I think I could wear it longer than 2 hours. I'm still not a liquid lipstick girl, but it's pretty comfortable. So maybe I could put like a primer underneath it. I'll test it out and let you guys know. Before I say goodbye, if you guys are interested in the restock for Rephr, just to let you guys know that the most popular face brushes, number 4 and 5, and then the crease brushes, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, will be back in stock today. The stock level is still limited though, so just keep that in mind. And then you can sign up for an account and receive a welcome bonus of 1,000 points, which they can redeem for 30% off at checkout. More features will be added in the future. Rephr brushes are definitely some of my absolute favorites. I use them all the time in my eye tutorials. I love the face brushes as well. They're really great workhorse brushes, and they really work well with matte, with Pat McGrath's matte shades. Not even just the ones that are in this new quad, but the ones that are a little bit stiffer. They're workhorse brushes, and they have always done a fabulous job. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.